Hey, this is Annalicia. I'm so pumped you're joining me on the mat today. For this particular workout, it would be great if you have a yoga block. It's not 100% needed, but it will make things a little easier for you. If you don't have a yoga block, no worries. I would just suggest maybe bringing a chair close. You can use that instead. Also for this workout, you're going to want to find a space next to a wall, as I am now. We're going to use the wall for two purposes: a little extra support to add a little leverage to some of the stretches and strengthening exercises that we do in yoga. And the second purpose is to add a little awareness when it comes to alignment. So I think it's going to be really great. When you're ready, meet me in a seated position as I am now up against the wall. If a cross-legged position is too uncomfortable for you, then another option that will make this a little less intense is to bring the bottoms of your feet together in more of a butterfly-like stance. So once you've decided on your leg position, take a couple deep breaths, rolling your shoulders back and down, using your breath to warm up your body in through your nose, out through your nose or your mouth. And then on your next exhale, hinge forward a bit. You can choose to hinge forward a lot, or maybe this is a big enough stretch for you. You're welcome to stay just like this, breathing deeply. But if some movement would feel good, consider doing a little swaying, or maybe even stretching to one side or the other. So there's no rules here, just feel into your body and decide what feels best to you today. As you're doing this, pull your belly button back towards your spine. That'll help protect your lower back. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. And let your head be heavy. A couple more breaths, holding or moving. Relax your jaw. Then on your next inhale, pull your belly button to your spine and pretend like you're zipping up a tight pair of jeans as you stack one vertebrae up onto each other. And we're going to start using the wall right away here. So make sure your tailbone is right up against the wall so you are feeling contact. And then do your best to bring as much of the rest of your back in contact with the wall as you can. See if you can do a little Uddiyana Bandha here. That'll get your lower back in contact with the wall. If you remember, Bandha means lock in yoga. Uddiyana Bandha, there we go, is your rib cage to pelvic lock. So you're kind of tilting your pelvis under so you don't have such a big curve in your lower back. So use the wall to feel Uddiyana Bandha, meaning instead of having a space between your lower back and the wall, you're feeling the contact. Sit up as tall as you can. So pretend like there's a string at the crown of your head pulling straight up. Again, as you're sitting up tall, you're trying to get as much of your back touching the wall as possible. So this is helping open up your posture. It's helping strengthen your abs. Now, simply sitting like this is a great awareness exercise. It's a great strengthening exercise. If you want to make it a little more challenging, then find cactus arms and try to get as much of your arms touching the wall as possible while you continue to keep your back touching the wall. And on an inhale, extend your arms up as far as possible. Exhale, pull your elbows down. Inhale up. All the while keeping as much contact with the wall as possible. Exhale, pull down. Tall spine, strong posture. So this one's great for strengthening your upper back, the space between your shoulder blades. You may be feeling that now. All the while, once again, you're training your posture to be functional, which is going to help decrease some chronic pain, but not only functional, also attractive. You're doing a great job. Let's do two more. Big exhale to pull down. Sit up tall as your elbows pull down. One more time. As much of the back of your body touching the wall as possible. Big exhale here. Nice. And release. Couple big shoulder rolls. Excellent. We're going to move right to a standing position. So when you're ready, make sure both knees are bent to protect your back. Push yourself up. If you do have a yoga block, take it in your right hand and put it about right here. So we're going to start with Warrior 2. So that's going to be near your front right foot. So to get set up with Warrior 2 on the wall, you're going to start with your back foot, your left foot in this case. And you want to bring your heel so it's touching the wall. And notice how your left foot is parallel with the short end of your mat. Then bring your right foot out. The longer your stance here, the harder it's going to be. So you can experiment with that. Maybe you start with a shorter stance. Maybe you want a big challenge today, so you increase that space. That's always up to you. Regardless of the length of your stance, though, your right foot is parallel with the long end of your mat. It's a few inches away from the wall. If you were to draw a line with your heel, it would hit the arch of your back foot. So once again, heel to arch alignment. So once you have that position set up, float your arms up so they're touching the wall, if possible, and then bend your right knee over your right ankle. Here we are in Warrior 2. So now, let's get comfy and see if you can, just like we did with the posture exercise, get as much of your back touching the wall as possible. So this front knee and leg probably won't touch the wall much because it's intended to be a few inches away from the wall. But the rest of your body, particularly your upper body, we want to see if we can get our body into a one plane. So you're feeling your pinkies graze the wall, the sides of your arms, potentially your shoulder blades, and see if you can do that Uddiyana Bandha again, rib cage to pelvic lock. Proud of myself for saying it that time. So maybe even your lower back touches the wall a bit more. Now, whenever you need a break, straighten your front leg. Take a deep breath here, feeling your alignment and your strength, allowing yourself to be a little supported by the wall as well, potentially. On your next exhale, keep your right knee bent over your right ankle and bring your right bicep by your ear. This is called reverse warrior. Look down at the ground or up at the sky, whatever feels best on your neck. And once again, see how much of your body you can get touching the wall. On your next exhale, straighten your front leg, reverse triangle. This takes a little pressure off in regards to strength and endurance and increases the side body stretch a bit, as you may be feeling here on your right side. See how much of your body you can get touching the wall. That's a theme for this entire workout. Now on your next exhale, gently circle out of it, floating your arms back up. And we're gonna move back into Warrior 2. So you're re-lunging. You're welcome to stay as you are now. If you would like a little bigger challenge, use your next inhale to reach forward. Exhale, elbow to your knee, side angle pose. And here you are again, opening towards the wall. We're going to hold here for one more breath. We'll be using an inhale to come up. So to prepare for that, pull your belly button to your spine. This is also a good time to grab your block. On your next inhale, come up with your block in hand. Then straighten your front leg. We're going to go right into triangle pose. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, tick-tock your arms, and use your block for a little extra support here. So in most cases, you might not use a block with triangle. Maybe you even go down a lot further. Today, I would encourage the block or the chair come up a little further than what you're used to, and we're going to really work on opening. So we're going to use the wall once again for leverage and awareness and see how much we can open to meet it. So that's your focus here. As you're doing that, make sure your right knee stays soft. So you have a little micro bend here, never locking that joint. See how much of the back of your arm, your shoulder blade, and even your hip you can get touching the wall. Now there's no need to have a really intense turning here. A nice gradual and soft opening is all we're looking for. So it's okay if your entire body is not touching the wall. We don't want to use the wall as a tool to beat ourselves up and prove how inflexible we are. We're just using it, once again, for support and awareness. Now from here, bend your right knee over your right ankle. We're back into side angle, a little deeper version with our hand on our block instead of our elbow on our knee. Open as much as you can. Look down at the ground if your neck is sore, as mine is now. And then on your next inhale, belly button to your spine, transition elbow to your knee, open towards the wall. And you know what? Actually, keep your block in hand. Use your next inhale to come all the way up to warrior two. And we've got one more exercise on this side. It's a fun balanced posture called half moon. So straighten your front leg, your right leg in this case. Slide your left foot a little closer to your right. Your right foot is still parallel with the long end of your mat, or we could also say parallel with the wall. And now, believe it or not, you're going to try coming up to a full balance position on the wall. Notice how I'm using my block here to start. Flex your left toes, lengthen out through your left heel, and then open as much as possible. One day, someday, you can try this without the block. Get as much of the backside of your body touching the wall as you can. Couple more breaths here, if possible. It's kind of fun, isn't it? Then when you're ready to be done, soften your front knee, slide your left leg down until your foot touches the wall. Good job. And then meet me at the center of your mat. Your back and your bum is touching the wall. Your feet are out, facing away from each other at about a 45-degree angle. Get as much of your body touching the wall as possible, including your lower back, so you're in Uddiyana Bandha. And on your next inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, down. As your arms come up, as you can see, your knees are bending. This is called horse pose. It's a great strengthener for your legs, including your inner thighs. So notice as you're doing this, how your upper body wants to come forward. The wall is a great tool, again, an awareness tool to see how long you can keep your shoulder blades touching the wall. So if you notice as you come down, your shoulder blades start to come away from the wall like this, that's a good indication that you don't want to go down quite that far. Let's do one more. Nice. And we're going to switch right to the other side. So before we do, grab your block. Bring it by your left foot so it's easy to grab. And then find that same setup we did on the other side. So your right heel is touching the wall. Your right foot is parallel with the short end of your mat. Left foot is parallel with the long end of your mat or the wall. You have that heel to arch alignment. Float your arms up. See if you can get your pinkies touching the wall. Bend your left knee over your left ankle. And spend some time here just exploring and being curious in this position with the wall. So once again, how much of your upper body can you get touching the wall? See if you can get your shoulders over your hips. My tendency is to kind of be forward like this, so I always have to pull myself back a little bit in order for that to happen. Glance down, make sure you can see your front left foot excuse me, your left big toe. How about we say it that way? And on your next exhale, reach your left bicep back by your left ear, reverse warrior. So you're keeping your left knee bent over your left ankle as you do this. As always, looking at the ground or the sky, whatever feels best on your neck, noticing where your body's touching the wall. On your next exhale, straighten your left leg, reverse triangle, so get a little deeper into the side body stretch. Fluid breaths. Belly button to your spine. Use an exhale to move out of this one. I like to just gently circle forward. Float your arms up, re-lunge, warrior two, nice and strong. Notice the wall. Stay here, or we can move into side angle. In that case, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, elbow to your knee. Right arm comes above your right shoulder. Your main focus here is opening, chest towards the sky. See what feels best on your neck. Now, remember, to move out of this one, we're going to use the strength of our core, so be sure you're firing that up now. Also, grab the block. Then use an inhale to come back up, warrior two. Block is in your left hand. Straighten your front leg. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, tick-tock your arms. Triangle pose. Here's another great time to really explore, get curious. What feels best on your neck? What position of the block feels best? How much can you open, not causing any pain, but a little aching and burning is okay. So this is the one where we're really using the wall for leverage to open more than we typically would if we didn't have the wall there. Soft left knee. Deep breaths. Keep your upper body down, re-lunge, left knee over your left ankle. Now we're in a deeper side angle pose. Open to the wall. Use your next inhale to bring your elbow to your knee. Oh, and grab that block. I think I forgot to do that on the other side as well. Come all the way up, warrior two. Beautiful. Straighten your front leg. Slide your right foot up so it's closer to your left. You're moving into half moon. So you're going to pop your right leg up. Bring your block towards the ball. Bring your block towards the wall. How about we try that? I got a whole bunch of interesting cues coming out of my mouth here. Flex your right toes. Lengthen out through your heel. Your foot is perpendicular to the wall. Open as much as possible. You can continue to use the block if that feels best. Another option is to try this one without the block. Regardless, again, you're opening. Look down or up. Try 2 more breaths here if possible. You got this. To move out of this one, soften your left knee. Slide your right leg down the wall until your foot comes to the mat. Beautiful. Let's move into one more round of horse pose. So we have our feet going out at a 45-degree angle, down and up when you're ready. And once again, number one goal here is to keep your shoulder blades, I should say, in contact with the wall as you're doing this movement. So you're really paying attention to your range of motion. See how far down you can get without losing that contact. Zip in your belly. Uddiyana Bandha. Let's do 3 more. You got this. As you come up, squeeze your inner thighs. Last one. Beautiful. A couple big shoulder rolls. Toe heel your feet together. And we're going to end in a seated position. So come down slowly. Find a cross-legged position, but this time sit the opposite way. So when we first started this practice, you were probably sitting in the way that was most practiced and most comfortable for you. Switch it up this time around. Find strong posture up against the wall. Deep breath. Then hinge forward as we did when we first started. And do that same movement, swaying side to side if it feels good. If you'd prefer just to hold, that's fine too. So really check in with your body here, see what it needs. Belly button to your spine, deep breaths. And as you're stretching here, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We're going to do Shavasana today in a very fun way with a position called legs up the wall. So legs up the wall is a great way to release your lower back. It's also great if you have knee issues, ankle issues, swelling in your feet. If you struggle with varicose veins, it's helpful for that as well. And it gets your blood circulating, your lymphatic fluid circulating. So it's just an all-around super beneficial position. So with that being said, let's get into it. To find legs up the wall, you're actually going to start with this position. So your hip bone is up against the wall to start. It's just going to allow you to get a little closer, which is going to make it more comfortable. So once you're sideways like this, I encourage you to bend both knees, roll to your side and all the way down to the mat. Doing it this way is a lot gentler on your lower back. Then from this position, you're going to kind of throw your legs up. Just so you know, it's just kind of awkward and weird at first, so don't worry if that's the way you're feeling. It'll become more comfortable the more you practice it. The key with legs up the wall is to get your seat in contact with the wall. If you're far away like this, it's going to be uncomfortable. So that's why we start with the sideways position. That allows us to get our seat closer to the wall. But if you are like this right now, just try to shimmy your booty as close to the wall as possible. Now, once you get here, you have a few options. You can keep your legs straight up like this. You can point your toes, flex your toes, or just let them be more of like a floppy foot. You can find a V position if that feels good on your inner thighs or your hips. You can even find a Supta Baddha position on the wall, which means the bottoms of your feet are together. You can push your knees towards the wall. So you have a lot of options here. Take a few moments to experiment and decide what feels best for you today. Once you've decided on a leg position, then you can check in with your arms. The typical Shavasana position is with your palms up. But today, if it would feel best to have maybe your hands on your belly or your heart, feel free to do that instead. Allow your shoulders to melt down your back. Close your eyes. Relax your face and jaw. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. When you're ready to move out of legs up the wall, make sure you bring your legs back to this position where they're straight up. And then from here, slide your feet down the wall, bending your knees as you go. And once you have a relatively deep knee bend, then slide over to the side. Use your arm as a pillow. Rest here for a few moments. On your next inhale, keep your knees bent and gently and slowly push yourself up to a seated position. You can find any seated position that is comfortable for you right now. Pull your hands into heart center. Find tall posture, using the wall once again if you'd like. Take a deep breath here, feeling your strength. Bring your hands to the space between your eyes. May you have peace in your thoughts today. Hands to your lips. Peace in your words. And hands to your heart. Peace in your heart and actions. Namaste.